Yeah, okay, so here we are. What is the time? The time is 8:42 South African time. In the background, we have the beautiful illuminated Table Mountain. And we're reporting here from the waterfront, V&A waterfront, after Ipswich 1, Manchester United 1. So, gentlemen, we have with us Alexi. You'll remember Alexi from Rascals at the, which game was that again?
Aston Villa.
Yeah,
Aston
at home.
Villa.
And we were joined in the Ferryman's Bar during the game by young Seb, who's visiting us from Norway, but he's originally from Ipswich. Welcome, Seb. How are you today? And tell us a bit about what brings you to South Africa, mate.
Yeah, great to be here. Just walking into the Ferryman's Bar and then suddenly I see two lads in Ipswich tops. Something I definitely didn't expect to see here. I thought it was going to be filled with United fans. Just out here on a vacation, enjoying the beautiful weather of Cape Town. I'll be heading to Namibia next week and then on to Botswana. So just exploring Southern Africa.
And in between, watching Town
Yeah.
1, Man United 1.
Exactly.
So what did we think then, gentlemen? Tell us about what your thoughts were, Alexi, about today's game.
I think a draw is a fair result. I think, but I would have taken a draw before the game. And then, obviously, I think we still had the better chances. I can think 2 or 3 that we had, Delap and Chappers at the end there. But yeah, we'll take a draw, I think. I mean, against United, I think you just got to take what you can get. But yeah, and we move on, I think,
It was a really difficult game to call, I guess, with the whole change in the United setup. Your thoughts coming into the game, Seb? What did you think? I know you've been travelling, probably had more about how beautiful Namibia is going to be than what. But I mean, it was a big game today. It was one of the ones that you were there at the Liverpool game at the beginning of the season, and I'm sure you'd have loved to have been there. But what was your thoughts coming into the game today?
You never know with United, just as like you never know with Ipswich, and especially United coming in with the new manager. You know, if they're going to change their setup, it was going to give them that spark of inspiration that I'm sure the United fans would have wanted. And then to see us concede in the first 2 minutes was very, very concerning. But we held our own, and I think every Town player should be super proud of the performance that they put in today to be able to hold up a draw against invigorated United side.
We made the point during the game that we seem to have become quite a hard team to beat. Hey, Alexi, it's another. It was sixth draw, and there's been a couple of batterings in there, but generally we've been holding our own. But I guess these games coming up, probably Forest away is going to be a tough game, but the game against Palace, you sort of suspect that that's the one where you have to really be looking for all three. Am I right?
We need to start picking up 3 points somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. Forest away next week will be tough. We had chances today, man. I mean, we could have won it, but yeah, at the end of the day, we'll just take a draw and move on.
I think that's why I'm stood here a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that chance was a Chappers had right
Chappers
towards the
had
end.
one.
I mean, it was we've seen him bury endless goals like that. I thought Anana probably had one of it. He had a really good game and goal for them, but as you say, Delap as well. They
didn't have too many chances if you think about it.
I don't think other than that first goal, which was a very good. How about Amari? Took me back to Hull there today.
I said before
took me back
the
to
game,
Hull.
I said Amari's going to score his first goal, so I'm glad that happened. It's very similar to Hull away last year, where he just cuts in and on that left foot in the corner. It's brilliant.
A bit worrying that Hurst seems to be injured again and out for a couple of more weeks. I mean, this has been a pattern, Seb, over this period.
Definitely something to be concerned about, but I'm very pleased with the sort of depth that we have, the players that we can bring in, something that we didn't have this sort of depth when we were cracking around 10th place in League One. We have now the ability and the finances to bring in some really, really good quality players. We had Al-Hamidi, we've got Clark, we've got a multitude of players who we can just. Jackie Taylor came in, played really good, and kudos to Muric as well. I know he gets a lot of slack, but
from me in particular,
and myself. But he definitely held his own today and was integral to. There was nothing he could have done about that first goal. It was a great United goal. They just caught us off guard, and I think looking forward, we can be really, really positive with what we saw today.
Where to from here then? We sort of got ahead of ourselves. We started talking about Forest away and then at home against Palace, and the games will come thick and fast. I think Kieran McKenna was making the point during this week that they're going to probably play as many games as they've played in the last 3 or 4 months in the coming couple of weeks. So your thoughts on that, Alex?
Yeah, for me, I think just beating the teams around us, I think that's important. You've got to beat like the Wolves, the Crystal Palaces, and just start picking up points against teams in and around us. So I mean, Forest, I think they're 6th or 7th, so that'll be a tough one away from
No.
home. It's a tough ground to go to, so we'll see what we can get out of that. Probably another draw we'll take.
And as Richard Moss, Mr. Crunch himself would say, you never get anything there at the City ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to make for an interesting game, and I think a lot more, again, confidence building each game. This was not a capitulation like against Everton, a disappointing performance at West Ham. If we can take today into that next game against Forest, I think we'll do well. It'll be interesting to see what's happening on the injury front. I had thought we would be coming back after this international break with a full squad, but clearly Greaves, we don't know Johnson
Phillips.
today, no
Yeah.
Phillips, and then Hurst, of course. So there's 4 key players, probably starters in many respects, that are not available. It'll be interesting to this thing of what is our starting 11. If you had a full squad, who would it be? I think that still remains a bit of a question. Does Cam Burgess keep his place, for example, Seb, if Greaves is fit?
I'd love to see Phillips get more intertwined within the squad. I feel he hasn't properly gelled with everyone yet. I want to see him play the full 90 consistently. I want to see him, laying it off to Amari, laying it off to Delap, giving Delap that space in the 18-yard box that we know that he's so good at. Absolutely. And really, really just get that Calvin Phillips quality that he had from 5 years ago.
There's no doubting that it's there in him. It's about getting the best out of it.
We've seen glimpses of that really, really good quality. On his first game at Fulham, he was sensational for the first 30, 40 minutes in that first half.
Just doesn't fit.
And just doesn't fit enough for me in that for the full 90 at the moment. That's something I'd love to see. And something that we've had so many draws. I think that's what can push us into not being these 1-1s, but getting us that win in the end.
Getting across the line.
Yeah.
And the Burgess versus Greaves, if he's fit, what's your thoughts there, Alexi?
Yeah,
nice problem to have, right?
Burgess played so well today.
No,
So
he was exceptional.
It's difficult to say, but I'd probably put Greaves in. I like Greaves from the start. But everyone who's come in has done pretty well. I think we missed Ben Johnson today. I like him. So I don't know what's his injury situation, but Burns on the right. He had a okay game. He didn't play badly, so we'll see.
I get the sense that he's found it's a stretch too far so far for young Wes. I mean, we've been delighted. We were talking from Fleetwood through the leagues.
Yeah.
Here he is playing, and he doesn't look like he's out of his depth. I just get the sense that we need more down that right, and I think when we see Omari there, we seem to get more into it. Yeah,
I agree.
Anyway, listen, again, thanks very much, Seb. It was a real pleasure meeting you.
pleasure.
Alexi, always good to see
Always
you.
good, always a
Ali,
pleasure.
Ali behind the camera, thank you for your patience. And where do you go from here, Seb? Where are you on to? What's your itinerary?
I'll be off to Namibia on Tuesday. Maybe bump into some more town fans in Namibia. Who knows? Find some park.
Everywhere we go.
Find some pub to watch. Forest away. Some Namibian pub there, and then off to Botswana and back to Cape Town for a couple of days, and then heading back home, back to Norway.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, listen, have a lovely time. It's been a real pleasure
great
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you
Hopefully
guys.
get a chance to see you tomorrow,
Yeah,
maybe,
definitely.
for a quick burger or two.
I'd love to.
And in the meantime, look after yourself. Cheers, Alexi.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Been a
Seb. Look
pleasure.
after yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
Be strong, man. Cheers.
Yeah.